Okay.
Hello, everyone, and welcome. And we are very privileged to have with us today Shani Krebs. And if you don't know who he is, you'll have to go and read his book, Dragons and Butterflies. Shani is supposed to be dead today, but he survived 18 years in prison and is here in sunny South Africa to tell his story. A man of huge resilience, a man who empowered himself to stay as positive and as creative as he is today. He is world renowned as an author and as an artist. Welcome, Shani.
Thank you very much for having me. How are you, Charlotte?
Good, good, thank you. All the better for
Great.
speaking to you on a Monday morning.
Oh, thank you.
Turn the tables on you.
Mondays are not great, but with lockdown, I suppose we can't differentiate one day from another. So one just blends into the next.
Yes, yes. So I would like to ask you, we're talking about women empowerment, and being August in South Africa, it is a Women Empowerment Month. In your experience, what have you observed as the changes in the space of empowerment over many years?
So for me, I had no choice because when I came out of prison, nobody really wanted to touch me. You know, I produced all these beautiful art pieces while I was in confinement, over 400 paintings. I literally walked the streets from Rosebank to Parkhurst, going to galleries, asking them for an exhibition. I don't know whether my art wasn't symbolic of the times or whether it had negative connotations, being an ex-convict. So I thought to myself, you know, the only way I'm ever going to get my art out there is to open my own gallery. But the first thing, my first purpose was to write my book. And I knew that the book would sell the art and the art would sell the book, you know. But I think if we look back in history, and statistics will show you that over the past few decades, that the art world was one of gender equality, where men's art was valued much higher than women's art. Also, well, this wasn't just in the art market, but also in the labor market. And this can be authenticated if one investigates history and sociology theories of genders. Women roles were more defined in those days and only really entered the labor force in the 1970s. 50 years later, I believe there's been a significant increase of women excelling in the art fields, fields such as photography, painting, fashion designing, film, writing, and artists. So for me, I eventually managed to open my own gallery and in this way empowered myself and got my art out there. But fortunately today, with social media, I think that a lot of people who are visible or have websites, it's a lot easier today because it's all about marketing at the end of the day, how you market yourself. And at the same time, obviously, there has to be a standard to your work.
Exactly. That's beautiful. And remembering a standard to your work, which also, again, speaks to that being unique in your niche. So you can only define your own standard and empower yourself in that space exactly as you did, facing on getting freedom here in South Africa, back in SA, back in your home country, is to then still have to face further empowerment for yourself. So that's brilliant. Well done for that. That's amazing. I love that.
Thank you. It wasn't easy. It wasn't easy, you know. But at the same time, you know, it's that old saying that unless you do it yourself, you can't depend on others. You know, so you just got to persevere and never give up, and just keep at it. You know, keep working hard.
And who's been your role model in your survival and your journey of empowerment and setting your own standards? Because I've seen your art, and if anyone follows you on social media, I know it's brilliant. And it's unique, and it's definitely got your stamp of you on it.
Thank you. So you know, I've always admired artists like Picasso, Dali, Michelangelo, Leonardo da Vinci, all the old-time greats. But I think Picasso has been hugely influential in my own work. But otherwise, if I look at today's times, you know, I don't really have a role model, but just live my life by example and always striving to better myself, not just as an artist, but also as a person. So art and our nature is very much entwined. And I found as I evolved as a person, and it's also a spiritual journey for me. So all three are linked. It's spiritual, it's part of our personal growth, and also our artistic development. So it's a combination of things. But like I said, I don't really have a role model.
And it sounds like you definitely followed in the footsteps. You have followed in the footsteps of many great artists, never giving up and always persevering.
Thank you. And especially today, you know, with COVID-19, one has to reassess the situation, because often I say to my students, because I also teach, that the economy dictates the price of our works. So we have to reevaluate and make more affordable art available, and possibly using the spirit of what we're going through now in representing our thoughts and our feelings, which comes out in our works, which makes it also that much more authentic.
That's beautiful. Your feelings and your thoughts to come out in your work. So how is everybody else out there showing up in the work that they do? That's a beautiful note. I'm hoping that we're going to see these notes in your next book.
Yes, I'm also. But I'm working on it. I'm working on it. There's a lot of material, you know, so hopefully I can get it done in the next 6 months or so. So it's very hard to juggle your life. You know, on one hand, you want to be creative. On the other hand, we're struggling financially, so we still got to earn a living. And then I'm still trying to write a book, you know, so and I know that I'm not alone, and everybody's struggling today, you know. So I've been very fortunate and blessed that a lot of my clients still support me. I've made my art more available. I've been doing different stuff, like I've started painting these decorative vases, which aren't like flower vases. They're actually pieces of art at very affordable prices. I mean, I can't even tell you how much time goes into one, and considering how much you're selling it for, but they're starting to fly, you know, and I'm kind of keep reinventing, not myself, but my work.
That's beautiful. Reinvent the work. I'm writing that down. What was one thing you would say to those coming up through the ranks on empowering themselves, being it men or women, especially in Women's Month? What would you advise?
I think, you know, I think you need to think out of the box, see what's out there, you know, and we often have to prostitute ourselves as artists, you know. So sadly today, everything's become negotiable. I mean, I can't remember in the old days walking into a gallery and then negotiating and bartering for a piece of art. But today, you know, there's so many different ways of selling art, and people are always negotiating, you know. So the nice thing about lockdown is that people have been confined to their homes, and a lot of people are now actually looking at their walls and thinking, gee, this painting doesn't really go there. Maybe I need something more colorful, you know. So I'm always thinking color, do something colorful. So I found that a lot of people are actually contacting me and saying, look, I love that painting you did, it's so colorful. Do you think it will go in my home? So we can use this lockdown period very positively, because I think people have actually finally realized that some of the art is outdated, and they're looking for more modern stuff and possibly to upgrade the art, but at the same time to make it affordable.
And also what I'm hearing in what you're sharing with us is the art to be relevant to the times.
Oh, definitely. You know, so I think a lot of the past art, like all these African faces, so a lot of it's actually being outdated now. And the market has been flooded with the same thing. I mean, I love African art, and I think we've got some of the most brilliant artists in this country, but it's been copied by all other artists, and it's just outdated now at the moment. So I think people are looking for more modern art, colorful stuff, things that brighten our lives and things that will bring a bit of joy to our lives even.
That's beautiful. So to everybody out there, you heard the message from Shani Krebs, a world author and artist. Put color in your life. Make your own standards. Never give up. Think outside the box. And if you want to get hold of his amazing book, Dragons and Butterflies, you'll have to go onto Amazon. I'll post a link in the topic below of how you can get hold of him. And good luck. I have seen his art on social media. Really, really beautiful.
Otherwise, you
Thank
can
you.
find me on Facebook. Thank you very much.
Thank you, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.